Hello friends and fiends, I'm Claire, I am the Postpunk Pixie, and I'm here to talk to you about my book, There Are Such Things. There Are Such Things, it is out now, right now, you can buy it. Unfortunately I don't have my copy yet, it's winging its way through the post, hopefully, but I haven't got it so I can't go. You love vampire stories, but you're finding a lot of other modern vampire stories just aren't scratching that little bite-shaped itch. Do you look back on the old Hammer films of the 60s and think, whatever happened to that beautiful, lurid, gothic atmosphere? Do you read Anne Rice or Poppy Z. Bright or Charlene Harris and think, why have all the vampires moved to Louisiana? If you do, first of all, comment, because we would be the best friends ever. And second, There Are Such Things is for you. There Are Such Things is my modern take on the classic Victorian Gothic novel. It's set in the modern day, but it sort of harkens back to a lot of those old tropes that we know and love. I wanted to create something that was a sort of modern version of what Hammer were doing. That was in the way back when, a long while ago. That was the first sort of idea that I had for this then unnamed hideous beast that became There Are Such Things. I've been watching a lot of Hammer, and I wished that there was something else that had that very continental European and yet very British, very Victorian, very Hammer, very Gothic feel to it. And I hope that I've created something that's a little bit like that. It is set in Romania, it's set in Transylvania. So in the grand tradition of Stoker and of all the adaptations thereof, I wanted to really sort of draw on Transylvanian ideals, but also, you know, in this day and age, if you're going to set something in Romania, it's got to feel like Romania. So I did do, a fair bit of research, but there is, if you can't tell from the accent, I'm British, so there's a lot of Britishness in there. But it's a very, I hope it's a very European novel. So There Are Such Things is a modern Gothic novel, and I know you're looking at me, you're looking at the hair, you're looking at the black, and you're thinking, of course the goth chick wrote a fucking Gothic novel. And yeah, there is a certain element of that, but, you know, as much as a cliche as it is, I love the Gothic. I'm really, really hoping that things like Crimson Peak and Penny Dreadful are going to start some sort of great resurgence, because I was sitting there through the whole of Crimson Peak going, yes, all of this, 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 all of this in my face now. And that's kind of what There Are Such Things is kind of doing, I hope. Yeah, I describe it as a Gothic novel because it's not quite a horror story. There are horror elements. There are horror elements. I can't talk. There's some quite nasty gore. There's some really dark elements. Yeah, serious trigger warnings. There's some really nasty stuff in there, but there's also some really cute, fluffy stuff and romance and love and a cat called Eldritch. I like cats. But yeah, so it's not quite a horror story. It's not quite a fantasy. It's not quite a romance. I mean, I suppose you could technically stick it in with a paranormal romance stuff, but my vampires aren't going to sit too well next to My vampires are a bit old. They're a bit more old school. They're a bit weirder, they're a bit more animalistic, and they're a bit more mentally ill. um, I wanted to have a mixture of that old world crumbling decadence and the new world urban gothic. So it's a little bit of both. A little bit of that sort of urban fantasy, grungy, inner city stuff, and a lot of crumbly castles and woods and crypts and dungeons and all of that good stuff. The Gothic has always been about the shadow self, and sort of getting up and close and cosy with all the nastier stuff that's whispering and salivating inside your brain. And my brain is particularly prone to doing that. I've been living with bipolar disorder my entire life, and so I've used my experiences to sort of add to the experiences of my characters. One of my central characters, he is very, very mentally ill, and I kind of drew on my experiences with depression to create his experiences of depression. He does not have bipolar disorder. Before anyone goes out and reads it and thinks that my brain works like his, God help us, nobody's brain should work like his. But a lot of my experiences with mental illness have sort of fed into the way he acts and reacts to certain things. And if you're one of those nice people that like supporting people from minorities and whatever, hello, I have a serious mental health condition. I'm also bisexual, I'm also genderqueer, and I look like a weirdo. One of the major themes of There Are Such Things is mental illness, and a lot of it comes directly from my experiences with depression and the hideous black dog that is. So now, after many, many years of pouring all sorts of warped ideas into this twisted little novel, I now want to share my weird, broken, deformed creation. I was going to say baby, but that sounded a bit too weird. I'm going to share that with you all. It is available right now. You can get it as an ebook. You can also get it in print. I tried to get it to be printed entirely by bats, but apparently that's not possible. So I have asked them to at least wear eyeliner. I'm not sure they're going to listen to that, but I did try. None of that is true. I'm being very, very silly. What am I doing? I do have a script, and I am not reading it at all. But yeah, there will be a link on the screen here, maybe, or maybe down there, or maybe up there. I don't know. I am not very good at this whole YouTube business. But there will be a link to the lovely people at Lulu who are doing this whole print-on-demand thing for me. It will also shortly be available on the Amazon website. It takes a little while for that to go through, so at the moment it is not on their website, it's just on Lulu. But the version on Lulu will work on Kindle and Nook and Kobo and your phone and whatever other sort of e-reader you may have. It's all the same format, as I've recently discovered. If you want to know more about the book, about me, about anything else, you can go to my website, which is www.eclairbooks, that's Eclair as in the name with an E on the end, books, all one word, .com. I'll put a link on there as well. And yeah, I might do a few more videos like this. I quite like doing videos. Videos are fun. I like talking. I like an excuse to put my makeup on. And now I'm burbling. Yeah, I might do a few more of these. I might do a Q&A. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I think that's all I have to say at the moment. See you very soon. Bye bye.